Gotta know exactly who you are. Lord have mercy. We must stay focused, brothers. We must stay.
Hey guys, what's going on? It's JMT. Welcome to another Survive the Night video. Before we do start this video, just want to say, glad you guys enjoyed the video that we just uploaded yesterday. Okay, it was either yesterday or the day before. I don't remember. Okay, I'm starting to get amnesia for all you call me old. So you guys haven't watched that video, go ahead and watch it. Zeal literally slapped me. But yeah, pretty much the whole video explanation to why I wasn't banned. Guys, I'm not banned. Okay, some of you watched like 20 seconds of the video and then decided to comment like, oh, I'm so sorry. You didn't even finish it. Today, we're moving past that though. We're talking about something else. Today, we're talking about the Deep Night mode and whether this mode is actually good or bad towards the survivor side of it. If this mode pops up while you're playing a Survive the Night match, should you shit your pants or should you actually be happy that this mode just, you know, came up into the abyss of the current play session you're in? So what exactly is the Deep Night mode? So if you ever played on the older versions of Survive the Night made by the Rec Team, the Before the Dawn games, they had a Blood Moon on there as well. So basically, this mode, Deep Night, is the old Blood Moon and mixing the Myers ability in one game mode. So this means there are no breakable lights, the slasher detect cooldown has been increased, there is no red slasher aura, so there's no red light around the slasher, there's no gears, no perks, no slasher ability. That's pretty much everything just to mess up your day, okay? It's just like starting a Monday morning. That's what this Deep Night game mode is. The only benefits to playing this mode is being a ghost, because the ghosting speed, jump, and cooldown towards using the ability have all been buffed. So if you're playing as a survivor on this mode, you're probably gonna die, unless you can somehow just like rotate around the slasher man without having to use any gear or perk. The slasher will be able to detect, okay, that's really the only thing he can do, because he's not gonna have any ability as well. So the Deep Night game mode is pretty much just making everyone naked. Okay, you don't get to use anything, nothing happens. The only thing that really happens is the slasher can actually detect you still, but the cooldown for that has been increased. Other than that, it's just like an IRL horror movie. You're just running around while a killer's chasing you. But let's talk about the ghosting portion to this Deep Night mode, because this Deep Night mode, in my opinion, revolves all around ghosting. So for those who don't know what ghosting is, if you are not inside of the game of Survive the Night, there is a spectate button, but you can actually hop into the game as well instead of just spectating. If you hit the ghosting button on the left side of the screen in the lobby, you can then turn into a ghost and enter the match. So while you are a ghost inside of the Deep Night mode, your speed has been buffed, your jump has been buffed, and your ability cooldown has also been buffed. You become a walking Terminator using the ghosting inside of this mode. So let's go through all of the ghosts. We'll go through the buyable ghosts, we'll go through the level ghosts, and we'll see whether or not these ghosts are actually beneficial to using in the Deep Night mode to help us revolve around the whole question whether or not this is actually a good mode to play. So for the buyable ghosts, there are 4 buyable ghosts that you could obtain. You have the Merchant Ghost. He will grant a random speed, recharge, or health and damage buff. So does this help in the Deep Night mode? And honestly, it does. The Merchant Ghost will help you inside of the Deep Night mode. You just gotta pray that the 33% chance doesn't land on recharge because you don't have a gear to even use. So the recharge ability that the Merchant Ghost will grant you is pretty much just gonna be worthless. But if he grants you the speed or the health and damage buff, that'll be better. The Android Ghost. This ghost disables gear and abilities, so this would really not work at all. The Android Ghost has no point in the Deep Night mode, since gears are already disabled, along with abilities from the slasher. The Banker Ghost. Now, this ghost would work extremely well in the Deep Night mode if you want to rack in the points, because this will award coins, points, and XP to yourself and nearby players. And with the Deep Night mode, with your cooldown towards the ability being buffed, you could use the Banker Ghost quite a bit. The Subject Ghost. This will damage map objects and slow the slasher. So this ghost, of course, will also work in the Deep Night mode. This would help out a bunch. For when it says damage map objects, it is, of course, talking about, I'm pretty sure, barricades, doors, lockers, all of those stuff that are in the game that you can actually interact with and destroy from the slasher's perspective. And then, of course, also slow slashers, okay? So that would help out a bunch for helping out your fellow teammates. So those are all the buyable ghosts. I think they all are worth it to use in the Deep Night mode, but not the Android, okay? Literally pointless. For example, if you had McDonald's fries, the Android would be like that soggy fry that you don't want, you just throw out the window. It's just pointless and not good. Let's move on to the level ghosts, okay? So when you start out in the game at level 0, you will get the Deceiver Ghost, and this will create a fake player aura. So basically, this would confuse the slasher quite a bit, because what that means is it will probably initiate breathing. So therefore, the slasher thinks breathing is actually there and someone's actually there. So therefore, the slasher will think, hey, someone's there because the breathing is being taken place. It is called the Deceiver after all, and the definition for this man is deceiving. Yeah, sounds interesting, doesn't it? Level 100, you get the Compeller Ghost, and this will force nearby players to taunt. So if you really wanted to help out the slasher more, because I feel like people who use the Compeller Ghost are just going to be trolls to the survivors inside the match, because it'll force them to taunt, of course. This would help out the slasher extremely well in the Deep Night mode, since they pretty much have to rely on the breathing and the taunting that the survivors do, if they even do that. So the Compeller Ghost probably going to help out the slasher in this one. Level 200, you get the Terrifier Ghost. This will frighten and stagger nearby players. Again, people who only use this are probably just going to be trolls to the survivors, but of course it does work on the slasher as well. So if the slasher is chasing someone, you can use the Terrifier ability to help stagger this man. And with the cooldown being buffed, this would help out a bunch in staggering this man even more. Level 300, you get the Booster Ghost, and this will speed up nearby players. This would also work in the Deep Night mode, and it does speed them up insanely fast. You will reach the max speed cap when a Booster Ghost uses his ability on you. Level 400, we get the Supplier Ghost, and this will help recharge nearby players' abilities and gear. So no, this wouldn't work either. This is just like the Android Ghost, except it's reversed. It doesn't disable your gear and abilities. This will help recharge your gear and abilities. And with that being disabled in the Deep Night mode, it's just not going to help out at all. The final ghost we have here is the level 500 one, the Spectre. Allows players to phase through a nearby door. We did a video on this before, reaching level 500, on exactly what you would get inside of Survive the Night. And with this ability, we did test it out on the ghost. What it does is when you use the Spectre ability, you don't use it on a certain player for them to walk through all these doors. You use the ability on a door for it to become transparent, and then the players can all walk through that door. So the reason we went through all of the ghosts is because the whole meaning of the Deep Night mode is to help out the ghosts. Literally everything else is disabled and everything else is just nerfed towards the survivors and the slashers in this mode, except for the ghosting, which is why we went through all of the ghosts and whether or not they're actually going to help you out in the Deep Night mode or not. And it helps us to reach to a conclusion whether or not this game mode is actually beneficial. Is it a good or bad mode? In my opinion, I'm not even going to call it good or bad. I think it's going to be a fun game mode. I rarely see people just even ghost at all. I don't know if it's because people don't realize you can ghost inside the game or if they're just too lazy. I don't understand what you're doing, but there's a lot of people who just don't ghost at all. So if you are playing a Deep Night mode, if this ever just happens to pop up into your play session, it's probably going to be really hard trying to find those few people who are actually ghosting and know what the Deep Night mode is about and know that they're going to have a buffed ghost to help you out inside the match. So honestly, it hits both genres, okay? Good or bad, it's going to hit both of those. I think it's just a fun game mode to go ahead and play if you have people that are going to be using the ghosts. If you guys have any comments about the Deep Night mode and what you would like to see, if you guys would like to see specific ghosts inside of the game or the Deep Night mode, leave it in the comments. I do try to read them all, and we could definitely do a video idea on that in the future. Anyways, guys, that's going to be it for me. My name's JMT, and I will see you in the next one. Peace out, guys.